Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. So as the video is titled, is Honda Hack still a thing? Yes it is. I'm going to show it to you. Alright, so this is my 2017 Honda CRV. Started life as an LX. I've upgraded in another video, which will be linked below, to the touring style head unit. Actually, in my case, the EXL, because it does not have the external amplifier. But Honda Hack will work on any EX or above with the factory Android-based head unit. We have a couple options when it comes to these vehicles. In the past, I've shown multiple videos on upgrading to like an aftermarket join Android stereo, and for most people, that is still probably a great option. And again, I'll have links in the description to those videos and those options for your CRV. But maybe you're just looking to add a few little features to the factory head unit. Maybe, in my case, you like the ability to have the factory XM satellite radio, the HD radio, some of the things about the factory unit that make it actually nice, you want to retain. But luckily the folks over at Honda Hack really came up with a really neat, robust way to expand the capabilities of the factory head unit. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on. We'll turn the ignition on. That way we have all the CAN bus network working. Okay, so it should look familiar to most people. Everything looks the same here. The only thing that kind of indicates that Honda Hack is on the unit is there's a little Honda logo right here. Now there's a million different things that this can do. But the main thing is this is an Android-based unit, and what it is doing is it is rooting. It's like jailbreaking an iPhone. It's rooting an Android product. All you have to do, and I'll have a link in the description, is go to the website for the Honda Hack. You just pay for the registration for it. I chose the Pro version. I mean, we're only talking about $20 here, and it gives you all the features of Honda Hack. When you make the payment, it will immediately give you the code that you need to input to download the software onto the head unit. Then you go to the web browser on the head unit, and how you get to that, your app list, it would be browser. And if you don't know how to enable the browser, I'll have some instructions below if it's not by default enabled on your unit. You go to the website that they tell you in the instructions, you enter the code, and then it does everything it needs to do for you. And obviously this is not an installation video. There's plenty of videos on how to do that. This is what it can actually do for your CRV, and this is specific to the CRV, even though the Civic is very similar. Since you have it installed and everything's restarted, you can see I do have some additional programs already installed here, and I did not do anything that required the Google Play Store. These were options from Honda Hack. You can see one of the apps becomes the Honda Hack application, and I've actually mapped that to my source button on my steering wheel, which will take me right in there. Alright, so we'll just start with the first menu here, install and uninstall apps. Walk through this. It says install apps online. Basically what this does is it will allow you to connect via Wi-Fi and download apps. Let me go ahead and get on Wi-Fi here. And you'll know you're on Wi-Fi because it's lit up. It's going to give me the options. So obviously Honda Hack, the program itself, obviously already installed. Micro G, this is a implementation of Google Play Services. You can install the full Google Play Services, Google Account Manager. So I'll just say that the more stuff you install, the slower the unit could possibly become. So these don't have a lot of power from the factory. So if you really want the full Android experience, you got to go with the aftermarket join system, like I've shown many times before. blazing. It's like running an Android tablet in your car. It's blazing speed. This is old Android 4.4. You can't install the latest apps on it. You're kind of limited, but it's good for certain things. So I did not install Google Play services because you do not need it. It takes up a lot. It's a resource hog when it's running in the background. But I was able just from here to install certain things. If you're one of the people who uses Honda, if you have like a 1.5 turbo, you can install the app on here and connect to that. You can put Waze or an offline map like Here We Go or Civic on here, which is kind of cool. I'm not really sure if there's enough memory on the unit to download multiple states or anything like that, but if you do not have the built-in factory Garmin navigation, in my case I do, it might be worth looking to add one of these. You can put Waze on the unit itself, Spotify. I went ahead and installed the MX player so I can watch videos off of a thumb drive. We'll talk about that in a little bit. I installed the Chrome browser just because I like it better than the default browser that's on here. You can put the Google keyboard on here. I also installed this Explore file manager. That way there would be some kind of file manager. There's also this YouTube Reload and SmartTube, which are kind of video watching clients. These are just some of the options. Now, if you install the Google Play services, you can pretty much put anything that will run on this older version of Android on here. But these are the ones that Honda Hack gives you to choose from that you can install without installing Google Play services, and these will suffice for most people. You can install apps from a storage card. If you sideload, it's called sideloading an app, you can download through that. You can also go on the browser in here, go to like APK Pure, one of those other sites, install apps. Again, has to be compatible with this older version of Android. Just place to uninstall. It says allow installation of apps from any source. You pretty much need to have this turned on to be able to install anything from anywhere else. We'll go back. Steering wheel controls, key remapping. So what's neat about this is you can assign your steering wheel controls to be whatever you want them to be, and you can change what the defaults are. Startup settings. So this is kind of important. A lot of people like the startup video thing. So if we click that, so with the Pro version, which we do have, you can play a video at startup. Okay, so you can create your own video. You can download them online. So if I click to turn this on, this basically replaces, where it's that Earth, and it says, Honda or whatever when it first turns on. If I click download videos online, these are just some of the ones that Honda Hack provides. They will play, it's kind of neat, audio. So I can hit preview. So not sure why you would put an NSX.
One or more of these signs, it's probably time for a visit to the eye doctor.
Not sure why you would do that, but you could. There's a CRV hybrid one. Again, it wouldn't take this long. It's downloading the video file, which is why it's taking a second.
About anything. The power of dreams.
Kind of a neat CRV one right there. For those of us with the CRV, and there's a couple for the Civic. I'm not really going to show all these. Obviously the Civic is where they kind of aim a lot of this, because it's mostly Civic owners that are, modifying their vehicles. But those are some of those with CRVs want to do this.
The power of dreams.
So again, mostly Civic stuff. Those are your options. So the kind of preloaded online ones that you can download. Again, a little bit of research, you'll see you can put almost anything you want on here. You can have sound or not. I chose to just kind of go with the stock one for now, especially the ones with the sound. You know, it's first thing in the morning, you're getting up to go to work, and you forget that's on there, and you go to start the car. You know, and you have your radio a little too loud or something like that. It actually is kind of startling, so I just left the stock one. But a lot of people will probably like that. You can turn the audio off on them just by flipping that switch right there. And what's kind of neat about these is, so delay before starting video. So if you notice that there's an issue, and then the maximum time to play. So obviously the video is longer than 30 seconds. You can stop it ahead of time. And then there's this fade out video after playing. Again, this is, you know, so obviously that's the stock one. The one that says Honda Link. If you hear that voice in the background, that's my dash camera. It has nothing to do with the stereo system. Okay, so back in here, just showing what it can do again. That's our startup settings. So this is a neat one. Automatically click the OK button at startup. You can see that every time I've turned it on, there wasn't that annoying splash screen where you have to acknowledge it. Now, obviously that does go away on its own, but you can, with the Pro version of this, it will automatically press that button for you. And that's really just one of the handiest features I think there is. This restore last function. So just whatever you had up when you turn the car off, it will turn it back on. Pretty simple. Automatically launch an app at startup, so you can have it, you know, custom do whatever you want. If you want it to start one of your apps, like the browser, every time you turn on the car, maybe like Honda or something like that, you know, whatever you have on here, you can pick. And you can delay how long before it starts that app. It's just send play command after auto start the app. You know, so if it's a video, it's just really neat, all the different things that you can do. So that's our startup options. So instrument cluster settings. Obviously, this comes in to play. I only know that it works on the Civic for sure. I'm not sure about the CRV, but if you have an EX or above, what this is to do is, like, if you have, you know, Waze or something, says it does work on the CRV, but Waze or something running, it will display your navigation over on your instrument cluster. And then enable advanced meter, display advanced information in instrument cluster. Again, this is an LX that I have, so it's not going to do me any good to turn any of this on, but play with that. The options are, you can show a compass and then change, you know, track up mode, enable screencasting, you know, and some other options when you have that turned on. And then we'll go to navigation settings. So again, show navigation directions in the instrument cluster. That's another place to turn that on. Voice guidance audio compatible mode. Not sure exactly what that does. Lower the music volume when giving voice guidance. That's turned on. Just to help you hear it better. And then you can set them out. It says select the instruction audio channel while using FM, CarPlay sources, etc. And I just have the default. It says channel 2 recommended for CRV and Civic. I'm not really sure if that's like front or back or what that is there. And enable an individual volume adjustment for instruction audio for all audio sources. I do not have that on. Again, I'm just running the default setting. It works fine. It says GPS settings, view or change location access settings. And it's just basically whether or not you're going to let apps have access to your location information. And it's whether you want it to just use your GPS satellites or also be able to access to Google location services. This is just like any Android device right there. If we go to Auto Run Manager, this says prevent apps from running at startup. So you can select which apps you wouldn't want to run if you're having an issue. Optimization. So see, it says free memory. You just press it and it will clean up your RAM if necessary. Free memory turbo. Again, it kills more apps. Whitelist. It says apps in the whitelist will not be killed when freeing memory. So if you need something to keep running. Clear app cache. A lot of these will require a reboot. Clean internal storage. Obviously don't just start clicking on this stuff unless there's a reason you need to. And it says warn if internal storage is below the threshold. Again, you can select what threshold it is. External USB storage settings. So on this, again, Pro, enable write access to external USB storage. You need to turn this on to be able to use the file manager to copy files from the head unit to like a thumb drive. And it says increase the mount speed of the external SD card dramatically. Fast mount Pro. I don't have that on. I don't really notice an issue either way. Another thing, while we're talking about the thumb drive, I've noticed that the head unit will only recognize a FAT32 formatted drive. So in that case, that does, if you do partition a larger drive, you can, but you're pretty safe if you just stick with a 32 gigabyte or below thumb drive formatted in FAT32. In my case, this is just a cruiser switch 8 gigabyte drive, but I've put some files on here and I play music and videos off of here, no problem, plugged into the factory USB port. And I also have a USB plug in the glove box, so I can just plug like a hard drive in there. It says error fixing. These are specific things for possible issues that come up. Like it says reinstall the parking brake bypass patch. So again, I have it set up to where you do not need to be parked with the parking brake on to enter like map directions, which helps. You can reset the launcher, fix system errors, automatically fix Wi-Fi error, automatically calibrate system time at startup, automatically fix no audio error. Again, these are things that you really need to play with if something were to come up. So advanced settings, so fake parking status. Oops. So this is what I'm talking about. Allows you to use USB video player, HDMI, DVD, etc. while driving. Warning, some safety features such as fasten your seatbelt voice reminder may stop working if this option is enabled. So I will tell you that I do have it on. I can go into the map and enter anything I want when I'm moving down the road. I should say a passenger can do that. Not that I really use the built-in navigation with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but it is nice to be able to look at a text message or something like that. It allows you to actually look at messages and stuff also. It basically unlocks the head unit to be able to be used. Again, disclaimer, I'm not saying that makes it okay to do that. This is more for if you have a passenger sitting there, they want to be able to access something. So again, decrease music volume while in reverse gear. It's kind of handy. It's kind of like the join units. When you put it in reverse, it just slightly lowers the volume. This is a less of a distraction if you're playing your music loud, so you can, it is. You can't see as good when you can't hear as well. I have this show CPU usage turned on, and up here it displays this is 13.3%, and that's how much of the CPU is being used. And the show battery voltage I also have turned on. It says 11.9 volts. And you'll notice when you start turning that on that you can actually watch the weird way that CRVs charge the battery on these units. The battery management unit, they kind of don't always output full voltage from the alternator. Again, this is our car model, so you would select, what vehicle you have. In our case, we have a CRV. Wi-Fi settings, which that just takes you to the Wi-Fi. It says disable the system music player app. Prevent the system music player from starting automatically. So that would be if you had a thumb drive in, and I have this turned on. it will try to start automatically playing the music files as soon as you enable the thumb drive. I don't want it to do that. I want to go into that mode for it to do that. The forced landscape mode is just like a movie, you know, that way it doesn't try to like rotate the screen to play, or an app. This enable ADB TCP/IP it's pretty self-explanatory. You don't need that for normal people or normal usage. Enable test mode, show debug information, enable log file, and then check for updates. So I'm just trying to go through everything really quick just to show you what all there is. This is current version 6.9.4. It gives you a contact, email, and an author. This code age. So again, like I said, this does still work. You can still download it. I have not had any issues at all with Honda Hack. It has been great. There's, as you can see, there's no more lag at all than there ever was. I will just talk about a few little things that I've noticed. So if I have Bluetooth connected and I have an Android phone, so I go to audio. Even the ones that have left their sky. So obviously a Bluetooth audio source is an option. I've noticed that you cannot have, this is the weirdest thing, you cannot have the thumb drive in and play Pandora. It will not play the audio. It will come up, it will try to connect, but it will not play the audio. So I finally figured out that if I pulled the thumb drive out, it would play Pandora. So kind of a weird situation, but obviously Pandora works. Everything works just like it should. So I will show you. I will go ahead and plug it in the thumb drive real quick. So again, I just have this extension that I ran to the back of the unit. I can just plug it in. Your main goal is to watch YouTube videos on the unit or other streaming services. Probably not the best use of this, but if it's like an occasional thing, it's fine. It, like I said, it will play. You know, you use MX Player here. It will play stuff fine off of the thumb drive. And you can move stuff around. And it's asking if you want to start over or resume. So you want to play your test videos or whatever. It works very well. So that's obviously off of the drive. If you want to play music, this is just like factor. This is nothing exciting, but again, you would just go to audio, and then your source would be USB. And you can see obviously it's playing off the thumb drive, which again, that is not anything unique to Honda Hack there. I just wanted to show you that it worked. You can also obviously install things off of the drive. So again, I've got our app list, the Explorer file manager. Okay, now plug it in the USB drive. Okay. So it looks just like any other Android device. Honda Hack startup. Now the SD card is not the SD card. That it will show up if you have the Garmin navigation, the built-in Garmin navigation, which is pretty neat because you can see you do have access, root access to those files. if you want to back them up onto a thumb drive, you can copy the Garmin Navigator APK right there off of the unit, and have a backup of that. So here's obviously root access. You gotta be careful what you're doing there. But so that's kind of the limitations I want to show you. To me, the price tag is worth just having that where it automatically checks the button when you start the unit up, and the ability to go into the navigation and enter the settings and be able to make a call and all that stuff from the unit without being stopped is just worth it to me. Also, you can have it so the thing speaks to you, like if you unbuckle your seatbelt, it will actually like talk out loud. And obviously having the ability to watch some videos and stuff when you're maybe parked somewhere is probably going to be sufficient for a lot of people. The factory unit is pretty robust. It does have some shortcomings. Honda Hack does try to address some of those. So I just wanted to give an overview in case maybe some of you are on the fence. Maybe this is something you're thinking about. Most CRVs are coming out of warranty. Again, I don't know if I'd necessarily install this on a CRV that was still under the factory warranty, if you're concerned about, the head unit. But my vehicle is out of warranty. I do not care about that. You could always uninstall it later, so it's not that big of a deal anyway. But wanted to give the CRV owners out there a little preview of how it works on the unit. If you have any questions, comments, be sure to leave them below. Again, I'll have links to everything in the description that should be helpful to you. So I just want to say thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and until next time, we'll see you later.